Hello, Heather. I have a story to tell you. And the story I'm going to tell you is, at face value, it's about breakup and heartbreak, but at the core, it's really about knowing yourself and loving yourself. So the story goes like this. I was a very young guy. I was 14 years old when I fell in love for the first time, and I went head over heels for this girl. And the person that I thought she was isn't the person she really was, right? From the things she shared with me, the things she told me, the way she acted towards me, I believed one thing about her, and it was really only a part of who she was. There was a really big part of her that was something completely different, and I didn't know it. And what ended up happening in the big picture is I fell in love with somebody that wasn't real. And when things went south, when she broke things off with me, I was crushed. My heart was broken. And I went into a shell. I told myself, first, nobody's ever going to hurt me like that again. And second, I'm never going to trust anybody again, because I trusted in something that wasn't real, and I didn't know how to handle that. So over the course of 18 or so years, I went forward in my life, and I moved in and out of relationships and never let anybody in.
All because of that experience when you were 14, falling
Right.
in love, and
Yeah.
then having this young woman turn out to be something you thought that you knew but you didn't know.
Right. And that scared the bejesus out of me.
Sure.
Yeah.
So
So
fast forward to your more adult life.
yeah.
And how did that impact your adult life?
Well, there came a point in time later in life where I fell in love with somebody, and I legitimately opened my heart up, and that person helped me to see the world in color again instead of black and white. I didn't even know I was seeing the world in black and white. So once my heart opened back up, I could see things in a whole different way, and I could relate to people in a whole different way. And then I found out at a later point in life that all of that stuff that I believed about my heart being broken wasn't real either. So I blamed this other woman for breaking my heart, and I carried that for a long time. It affected me and affected everybody I was in a relationship with. But when I got a little bit more mature, and I could see things through different eyes, I realized that I'm the one who did that to myself.
You're the one who closed your heart.
Yeah. I'm the one who chose to believe that she did something to hurt me. She didn't do something to hurt me. She was being herself. And then in the course of her being real and being herself, when I found out the real deal, I shut down because I was afraid.
Sure.
Yeah.
So when you said somebody helped you to open your eyes to a
Yeah.
whole new way of seeing, can
Yeah.
you say more about what that process was like for you? How
Yeah.
how did you start to make those changes in your life?
It was actually in a way that it shouldn't have happened, but it did. I was a young man. I was married, and I had chosen somebody who was safely in the boundaries of you're not going to hurt me, right? And she was a beautiful woman. I loved her, and we had common goals, so we got married. But I never let her in, and it wasn't fair, but that's the way it went.
Sure.
And so as I moved on through my adult life after that, I found myself really struggling with my own identity and who I was. And I started searching for it, and I did the wrong thing, and I searched for it in other relationships. And I found it. And then one of the people that I found just helped me open up. She helped me see the light again, so to speak. And that made for some really interesting challenges, because now I had to either fix the relationship with my wife or move out of it. And after a couple of years of trying to fix it, I chose to move out of it. And you know about life transitions, right? You make one decision, and then there's this whole tidal wave of change.
Everything changes after that.
Yeah.
So this whole story, all these different relationships you mention are about, it seems like, knowing your own heart.
Yeah.
And if you had to go back and could help your younger self know your heart,
Right.
what kind of advice would you give your younger self?
Oh man, you know what? The advice I would give myself is to not spend the energy to protect your heart and to hide your heart and build up these walls to protect it. Spend that energy learning your heart and to learn who you are, and to learn that deep inside you're going to be okay no matter what happens if you believe in yourself. But if you let yourself live in fear, you can have some really long-lasting impacts on a lot of people.
So learn your heart.
Learn your heart.
Thank you.
You're welcome.